The divorce papers didn't just land on the dinner table. They slid across it, right past the turkey, right past the candles, right into her hands, while everyone watched. Naomi Kessler looked up slowly, confused, her fingers still shaking from serving food, and realized her husband wasn't even looking at her anymore. He was smiling. Not nervous, not sad. Relieved. "I'm done waiting," he said calmly. "I found someone who can give me what you couldn't." The room went silent. Then the door opened. A younger woman stepped in, pregnant. And that was the moment Naomi understood the truth. Her marriage wasn't ending because she was broken. It was ending because she had already been replaced. Everyone assumed the quiet woman at the table would beg, cry, collapse. They were wrong. Because the woman they humiliated that night wasn't powerless. She was about to expose secrets that would burn everything to the ground, and force the people who sold her, blamed her, and discarded her to finally face the truth. Stay with this story. Because what happens next is not forgiveness. It's reckoning. Before we continue, take 1 second to subscribe, drop a comment telling us where you're watching from, and stay with this story, because what happens next changes everything. I'm not going to waste my life waiting on a body that doesn't work. That was the sentence. That was the one that finally shattered Naomi's chest. Ethan Kessler didn't raise his voice when he said it. He didn't have to. His calm tone made it worse. Like he'd practiced this speech. Like he'd been waiting for the right moment to unload it. Naomi sat at the long dining table, hands folded in her lap, her knees pressed together. She wore a soft blue sweater she'd bought 3 winters ago because Ethan once said blue made her look calm. Now she wished she'd worn red. Or black. Or armor. "You're saying this in front of everyone?" she asked quietly. Ethan glanced around the table. His parents, her parents, his younger brother and wife, even his aunt, who had shown up uninvited. "Yes," he said. "I think it's time everyone stopped pretending too." Naomi felt heat crawl up her neck. "This is Christmas," she said. "Can we please talk later?" Ethan laughed once. Short. Sharp. "No. I've waited long enough." He slid the envelope toward her. Divorce papers. No warning. No discussion. No mercy. His mother covered her mouth. "Ethan, she's known this was coming," he said. "Right, Naomi?" Naomi shook her head slowly. "No, I haven't." He leaned forward, elbows on the table. 8 years, he said. 8 years of excuses. Doctors. Tests. Hope. Nothing. I wanted a family. Her father shifted uncomfortably. Her mother stared at Naomi's hands like they were the problem. "You told me you loved me," Naomi said. "I did," Ethan replied. "Before I realized love doesn't fix broken things." That word again. Broken. Naomi stood up so fast her chair scraped loudly across the floor. "I am not broken," she said, her voice shaking. Ethan shrugged. "Tell that to the empty nursery." Silence fell like a heavy blanket. Then he delivered the final blow. "Oh, and I'm not alone anymore." The door behind him opened. A young woman stepped inside. She was pretty, confident, pregnant. Naomi felt the room tilt. "This is Lacey," Ethan said. "She understands me." Lacey smiled politely. Naomi's legs gave out. Naomi Kessler had never been loud. She wasn't the woman who fought in public or slammed doors. She didn't throw glasses or post angry messages online. She believed in fixing things quietly, carefully, with patience. She was the kind of wife who woke up early to pack lunches, who remembered appointments, who folded socks the way Ethan liked, who rubbed his shoulders after long days on construction sites. She drove an old silver sedan with a dent in the door. She worked part-time at the town library. She wore the same gold wedding ring every day, even when it got loose from weight loss she didn't talk about. People described her with soft words. Nice. Simple. Plain. No one ever said strong. They didn't see the nights she cried alone so Ethan wouldn't hear. They didn't see the medical bills she paid with her savings. They didn't see the hope she buried every time Ethan pulled away. And they didn't see what she kept hidden. Not yet. Ethan didn't help her when she collapsed back into the chair. Lacey did. That hurt more. "I'm sorry," Lacey said softly, touching Naomi's arm. Naomi pulled away like she'd been burned. "You knew," Naomi whispered. Lacey looked down. That was enough. Ethan stood. "This doesn't need to be dramatic." "Dramatic," Naomi repeated, laughing once through tears. "You brought your pregnant girlfriend to Christmas dinner." "I brought my future," he said. His father finally spoke. "Son, maybe this isn't." "She failed me," Ethan snapped. "And I'm done being patient." Naomi looked around the table. No one defended her. Not her parents, not his, not even his brother. Her mother finally said, "Maybe this is for the best, Naomi." That was when Naomi understood something very clearly. She was alone. Ethan gathered his coat. "I'll expect you out of the house by New Year's." He kissed Lacey's cheek and walked out. Naomi left an hour later. She didn't take gifts. She didn't say goodbye. Snow fell lightly as she sat in her car, staring at the steering wheel. 8 years. Gone. She pressed her forehead against the wheel and whispered, "Okay." That was all. Naomi moved back into her childhood bedroom. The walls were still pale yellow. The carpet still smelled faint. The walls of Naomi Kessler's childhood bedroom were still pale yellow. They had not changed since she was 16. The same wooden dresser. The same small window facing the street. The same feeling of being too much and not enough at the same time. Naomi sat on the edge of the bed with her suitcase open at her feet. She hadn't unpacked. Something inside her told her not to get comfortable. Downstairs, she could hear her parents talking. Not whispering. Talking. "She's 34, her father, Milton Kessler, said. "Divorced. No kids. No savings." "She's our daughter," her mother replied weakly. "And she's a liability now," Milton said. "Be honest." Naomi closed her eyes. That word again. Liability. At dinner, no one mentioned Ethan. Her father cleared his throat and placed his napkin on the table like he was about to negotiate a deal. "I've been thinking," he said, "about your future." Naomi took a small bite of food. "I'll find work." Her father shook his head. "Not enough. You need security." Her mother wouldn't look at her. "There's a man," Milton continued. "Warren Hale." Naomi frowned. "The logistics guy?" "Yes. Owns warehouses all over the state. Rich. Widowed." Naomi's stomach tightened. "He has 4 children," Milton added. "Needs a wife. Structure." Naomi laughed softly. "You want me to marry a stranger?" Milton leaned forward. "You don't have the luxury of romance anymore." That was when Naomi understood. She had been given away twice. First by her husband. Now by her parents. The warehouse was huge. Cold air. Tall metal shelves. Pallets stacked high with sealed boxes. Naomi stood beside her father, hands folded, eyes down. Across from her stood Warren Hale. He was tall, broad-shouldered, and sharp-looking. His dark hair was neatly styled. His suit was expensive but simple. No smile. No warmth. His eyes were tired. 4 children stood behind him. A teenage boy with guarded eyes at a girl with her arms crossed tight. Another boy, quiet and watchful, and the youngest small, nervous, holding a toy car. Warren studied Naomi carefully. "You understand this isn't a love story," he said. "Yes," Naomi replied. "I don't need romance," he said. "I need stability. I can do that. My children come first." "They should." He paused. "Why did your marriage end?" Naomi swallowed. "I was blamed for something that wasn't true." Warren nodded, like he understood more than he let on. They married quietly. No vows spoken from the heart, that no kiss for the cameras. Just signatures. Life with Warren Hale was silent. He worked long hours, that he ate dinner quickly, that he slept alone. Naomi learned the children slowly. Ridge, the oldest, didn't trust her. Calla watched everything. Mason spoke little, and Owen, the youngest, followed her everywhere. Naomi never forced affection. She listened. She cooked simple meals. She packed lunches. She showed up. At night, she read in the kitchen while the house slept. Warren thought she was weak. He was wrong. One night, Naomi found a box in the storage room. Old files. Medical reports. Notes. She didn't mean to snoop. But one paper stopped her cold. Cause of death, accidental overdose. Except the dosage didn't match. The notes mentioned emotional distress. Isolation. Pressure. A name appeared again and again. Leonard Pike. Warren's business partner. Naomi felt her chest tighten. This wasn't an accident. One evening, Ridge snapped at Warren. "You're never here." Warren yelled back. Naomi stepped between them. "Enough," she said softly. Ridge froze. So did Warren. No one had ever stopped him like that. Later, Owen crawled into her lap and fell asleep. Calla whispered, "Please don't leave." Something inside Naomi shifted. She wasn't property. She was needed. The boardroom was full. Executives. Lawyers. Investors. Leonard Pike stood confidently at the front. Warren sat stiff beside Naomi. She hadn't told him what she found. Yet, Leonard began speaking about restructuring. Naomi stood. I have something to share, she said. The room turned. Warren looked at her sharply. She handed folders to the board. Medical reports. Emails. Audio recordings. Proof. Leonard's face drained of color. This is manipulation, Leonard stammered. No, Naomi said calmly. This is truth. Warren stared at the documents. His hands shook. Leonard was escorted out. The room buzzed. Warren's empire was saved. But his guilt was exposed. Later, Warren found Naomi alone. You knew, he said. Yes. You could have destroyed me. I could have, she said. But I chose honesty. Warren swallowed hard. I treated you like a solution, not a person. Naomi met his eyes. I won't live that way. He nodded. I'm sorry. Publicly, he apologized. To her. To his children. The house changed. Warren came home earlier. He listened. He tried. The children laughed again. One night, Kala called Naomi mom without thinking. They both froze. Naomi smiled through tears. Naomi stood on the porch one evening, watching the sunset. Warren stood beside her. She wasn't sold. She wasn't broken. She was chosen. And this time, she chose herself. If this story moved you, subscribe for more powerful stories like this. And tell us in the comments, have you ever been underestimated and proven everyone wrong?